Welcome to our Building a Workflow for Cluster Analysis in Marketing Accelerator demo in Alteryx. K-means clustering is the most commonly used unsupervised machine learning algorithm for partitioning a given data set into a set of K groups, K clusters, where K represents the number of groups pre-specified by the analyst. Our approach is very simple and based on three tenets. 1. Earn trust. 2. Be business outcomes focused. 3. Execute flawlessly. Welcome to this video session where we'll guide you through the steps of building a workflow to perform K-means cluster analysis using Alteryx Designer. Before we dive into the details, let's briefly understand what clusters are and why they are important for businesses. So, let's get started. The primary objective of cluster analysis is to classify objects into relatively homogeneous groups, share common characteristics, based on a set of variables considered. The clusters are not predefined, but rather naturally suggested by the data, revealing any similarities or dissimilarities. In marketing, cluster analysis can be used to segregate customers into different buckets based on their buying patterns or interests. The most common clustering approaches are K-means clustering and hierarchical clustering. The following steps will help you create K-means clusters using Alteryx Designer. First, you need to import your CSV data file into Alteryx Designer using the Input tool. This tool allows you to bring in your data and prepares it for further processing. Next, use the Select tool to identify the current data types of the columns in your dataset. It's important to note that you cannot use categorical variables to create clusters. If needed, change the data types of certain columns to double. For example, in my demonstration, I converted the annual income and spending score values from string to double. Now, let's use the K-Centroids Diagnostics Tool, which can be found under Predictive Grouping, to help determine the ideal number of clusters to use. In the configuration window, select the numeric fields you want to use, such as income and score, to construct the cluster solution. You can also choose the standardization method, either z-score or unit interval. After configuring the tool, insert a Browse tool at the end to visualize the box plot charts. The first box plot chart shows the similarity of data points within each group. Ideally, we want these values to be as similar as possible, which is indicated by the size of the box. A smaller box indicates that the values are closer together. The second box plot chart shows the differences between the groups. We want the groups to be as distinct as possible. Based on the box plots and the criteria we discussed, you can select the number of clusters that seems most appropriate for your data. In my example, it looks like 5 clusters would be a good choice. Once you finalize the number of clusters, proceed to the next step. Now, utilize the K-Centroids Analysis Tool. In the configuration pane, set the number of clusters field to the number you selected, in my case, 5. This tool will perform the K-means clustering algorithm on your data. To review the results, insert a Browse tool after the K-Centroids Analysis Tool. To connect the original data with the cluster numbers, use the Append Cluster Tool. This step will add a column to your data that indicates the cluster to which each data point belongs. Congratulations! Your data is now ready for output. You've successfully created K-means clusters in Alteryx Designer. Thank you for joining us in this video session. We hope you found it helpful in understanding the steps to create K-means clusters using Alteryx Designer. Stay tuned for more informative videos. Until next time. Inquire about our complete Marketing Accelerators bundles. Follow us and like us on LinkedIn and visit our Marketing Accelerator page, www.fugetroncorp.com/marketingaccelerator.
Thank you, and see you soon for a live demo.